What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our Week 5 team builder here for Fella. This week we are taking on Leafy and the A-Team. A-Team, I believe, is the team. Yeah, it's gonna be it's the A-Team. Yeah, her team is actually really interesting. It consists of Mega Sableye, Garchomp, Keldeo, Togekiss, Metagross, Chandelure, Vileplume, Floatzel, Pangoro, Gastrodon, Leafeon, and Luxray. So, first thing I see right off the bat, fairly slow team outside of the above base 100s in Garchomp, Keldeo, and Floatzel. Overall, some of the mons are pretty predictable, but some of the mons are pretty decent. Mega Sableye is a huge threat, but we have ways of beating it. But overall, there was one set that just stood out in my mind, and I was thinking about it, and I just really thought it could work this week. And that is Calm Mind Clefairy. Right here, you see Von Strangle, our Clefairy. Jorgen Von Strangle is here, ladies and gentlemen, with that EVO Light. Rocking a bold max defense, max HP situation. Calm Mind, Moonblast, Soft Boiled, and Thunder Wave. Moonblast is the only coverage move I really need. If the Metagross, Chandelure, or Vileplume show up, I have to make sure to kill those before I can set up, because if I try to set up with those around, Chandelure eats up Moonblasts, and Metagross and Vileplume blow me back, so I can't afford to do that with them around. But if they are dead, then Clefairy just kind of comes in, clicks Calm Mind a few times, and wins the game, which is really cool. Because we have the Soft Boiled so we can heal ourselves up, we have the Thunder Wave so we can slow some opposing mons down, so that we can better handle them, or better set up on them, which is really nice. And overall, I think that this set can really work, and I'm really hoping that I can get it to work, because that's literally been my goal all season. I want to get a Calm Mind Clefairy sweep. That is my main goal for this season, is to get a Calm Mind Clefairy sweep. If I can get that, that'd be huge. If I can't, then, yeah, that'd blow. But, we'll see what happens. But I think this set works really well against her team. I remember, it was Stibe, who basically said, if, she didn't bring certain mons, or if I can get rid of certain mons early, my fairies pretty much annihilate her. So it was something that stood in my mind from when Stibe battled her. So I made sure to remember that and said, you know, I have my fairy here. I might as well try to make use of him as best as I can. So we'll see what happens. Next up, to support this mon is going to be our Assault Vested Noodlesworth, ladies and gentlemen. Noodlesworth is rocking Giga Drain, Knockoff, HP Ice, and Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb is there for the Togekiss, so that it doesn't totally wall us, and we can at least hit it super effectively. Togekiss likes to switch in on Noodlesworth, so if I can get that Togekiss on a switch in with a Sludge Bomb and get a poison on it, that'd be really dope. We have the HP Ice for the Garchomp. Garchomp can't hit us too hard, because we are very bulky. So that's cool. We are running 8 into our speed, so we can outspeed a potential min-speed Togekiss as well, which is cool. Maybe min-speed Chandelure as well. No, not that. What am I thinking? No, it's not that mon. No, it's min-speed Vileplume. We would outspeed, which is cool. So yeah, that's fun. Giga Drain is going to blow away the Gastrodon. That's the entire reason it's there, plus a stab. And then we have the knockoff just for utility purposes to keep them freaking items off them freaking Pokemon. Yeah, so there's that. This thing is really, really good against the team. This thing is a really good switch into Keldeo. This thing's a really good switch into Garchomp. This thing switches in very, very nicely to the Floatzel as well. This thing walls Gastrodon to no end. This thing can take on the Leafy on very well. Overall, just takes on a lot of Leafy's team very nicely. So there's that. Next up, we have Preference of Gothitelle, Scarf Gothitelle, once again, Shadow Taggeroonie, Psyshock, Energy Ball, Hidden Power, Ice, and Shadow Ball. Enough speed to outspeed a Rooney, the 242. What are we saying? 242. We do already outspeed the Pangoro. We outspeed Min-Speed Garchomp with this speed investment. And then I'm pretty sure with the Scarf we outspeed the Floatzel. Yeah, we outspeed the Floatzel, so that's cool. That's cool stuff. We have the Psyshock for stab, so we can trap and blow back things like the Keldeo. So that's cool. We have the Energy Ball, so we can trap things like the Gastrodon and Energy Ball it, Floatzel, Energy Ball it, and hit Keldeo with Energy Ball. And then we have the HP Ice. We can trap the Garchomp and blow that thing away, because we don't need that thing setting up on us or doing some crazy shit. So that's a thing. And then we have the Shadow Ball, which is interesting because you can't trap Ghost types. But we do outspeed the Chandelure, so if we can get in a situation where the Chandelure is there, we can still hit it with a Shadow Ball and quick Shadow Ball. We can also trap the Metagross and hit that thing with a Shadow Ball as well. So that could be a thing. Hopefully this set works. Preference hasn't had really much of a chance to shine too much in this league. I've been trying, but it's just not working out. So hopefully I can get it to work this game. So yeah, there's that. Next up we have Ragnarok, our Tyranitar, rocking the left overs with the Sandstream. 248 HP, 96 into the defense, and 164 special defense. This thing's just good for overall bulk. Trying to remember exactly what we lived with those spreads, because those spreads were both specific for certain reasons. I can't remember off the top of my head what they were. But I do remember that this thing just swallows hits from everything. Pursuit is there for the Metagross. Was it the Metagross? No, it's for the Chandelure, because we can pretty much eat anything the Chandelure wants to throw at us with his spread. That's one of the things that I remember. We can swallow any hit the Chandelure throws at us, and we can scare it out. And with the Pursuit, we should be able to knock it out. Earth Power is there, so we can hit the Luxray really hard. The Luxray potentially be Intimidate, and if it comes in and tries to Intimidate, and we hit it with an Earth Power, that Intimidate don't matter. So, ha ha ha, sucks to be Luxray. Ice Beam's there for the Garchomp, mainly. It'll hit the Togekiss, it'll hit the Vileplume, stuff like that, but Ice Beam is there for the Garchomp. And then we have Stealth Rocks, we can set up rocks, it'd be really nice. Chip away the Togekiss, chip away the Chandelure, stuff like that. Really just get the chip damage on my opponent's team. So that'd be cool. He might predict me to bring Stealth Rock on the Fairy because of the Mega Sableye, or she might predict me to bring Stealth Rock on the Fairy for the Mega Sableye. because the Mega Sableye doesn't want to stay in on Clefairy, so I can get free rocks against it, essentially, because I forced the switch. But, maybe. We'll see what happens. That's our beautiful Tyranitar set. To go along with that Sandstream, we have Scruff McRuff here. Life Orb, Scruff McRuff with enough speed to outspeed a Choice Scarfed Floatzel? Choice Scarf Floatzel? 361 times 1.5. Divide that bitch by 2. 270 points. Nope, we are not outspeeding a Scarf Floatzel. We are outspeeding, I believe, a Scarfed Keldeo. Yes, it is a Scarfed Keldeo that we are outspeeding. We are outspeeding Scarfed Keldeo in the sand. Return for Stab, because that's going to nuke things. Ice, that don't resist it. Ice Fang is for the Garchomperino. Play Rough is for things like the Keldeo and the Pangoro. Like, Fairy really does a number to her team. And then Crunch is there for the Metagross and the Chandelure. So that's pretty awesome. This thing hits really freaking hard in the sand. So hopefully this will do some work this week. Lastly, we have Shuriken. Keep them hazards off our side of the field. A lot of things on the opponent's side. They can set up rocks. Garchomp, Metagross. Actually, that's it. That's all. But both of them set up rocks really effectively. So I can spin them away with Shuriken over here. Max speed, max special attack. So we can speed tie with that Floatzel. We have Scald, Ice Beam, and Dazzling Gleam. Scald to get burns and hit things super duper hard with the Stab. Ice Beam for the Garchomperino, and Dazzling Gleam for the Keldeo. And all the fairy weaknesses and such. So hopefully this plan will work. Shuriken is a really good Pokemon. Just need to get the chance to actually make it do something. Haven't had the chance to do that yet, but you know, hopefully we can pull that off. But yeah, Starmie has a lot of opportunity in this match to really, really shine, and I think that I can make it do so. So we're gonna give it our best shot. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this team builder, guys. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And without further ado, we are going to get into the battle. I should have mentioned this last time, but we are going to try to tack the battles on at the end of these team builders, so check that out. Stick around, but until then, guys, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our Week 5 battle in Fella. This week we were supposed to be taking on Leafy, but she has been absent for a while from the league. So, instead of trying to take all this time to find a replacement, Waffles has stepped up and taken Leafy's team to cover on top of his own team, which is really, really, really admirable on his part. Really, really cool. But he's been covering her team, which is nice. And so we get to actually battle Waffles. We don't actually battle Waffles at all this season, which is really, really cool that we get to battle him here. But he decided to bring the Luxray, Mega Sableye, Pangoro, Togekiss, Garchomp, and the Chandelure. So right off the bat, I see the Chandelure, which is the only thing on my opponent's team that can handle my Clefairy if I start setting up. So I know I need to kill the Chandelure at some point before Clefairy can come in and do its job. But hopefully I can pull that off. You know from the team builder, we have Von Strangle, Noodlesworth, Preference, Ragnarok, Scruff McRuff, and Shuriken here. And we're going to just get into the matchup. So we're going to switch sides here. So he's going to lead with his Luxray, as I am going to lead with my Shuriken. Not the best situation, because this thing can kind of just get a free Volt Switch off. That is fine. He is going to, in fact, go for that Volt Switch. I'm going to switch in my Tangrowth knowing that, and it's going to take absolutely nothing. In comes the Togekiss, and it's going to go for an Aura Sphere, predicting me to switch into Tyranitar. As I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb and get the poison on the Togekiss, which is wild. Air Slash does a crazy amount of damage, and I stay in to go for the knockoff, because I want that thing's item gone, and I just want to make sure. I just want to point out what the item was. Item on the thing was a berry, so that thing, he was planning on potential for steel coverage or the potential for Escavalier to be a threat to Togekiss. So he had the berry, so he knew that he could live a hit. Because he knew I could live a hit from him, and he didn't know, but he knew he couldn't live a hit from me. So he brought the berry, which is really, really good planning on his part. But now it is gone, and I didn't even bring the Escavalier either, or the steel type coverage in like the entirety of my team. So it was kind of useless, but it's good to knock it off. I decided to switch here because I don't want to die. As he does take this turn to Roost, which is a really smart play on his part. Poison is still there. Shuriken really scares this thing out as in comes the Sableye, and it takes over half from Scald, which is kind of wild. It's going to recover here, get that Pranks to recover off. I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam, and actually it does under half, which is really disappointing. I kind of expected better, but I'm going to switch immediately into Von Strangle, as he's actually going to double out and go into the Chandelure, which is kind of annoying. He's going to go for a sub, as I actually go for the T-Wave, which is even more terrifying. So that's not fun. I have to switch out with a sub on the field, which really bothers me. But we go into Tyranitar. He goes for the Flamethrower, and Tyranitar completely swallows it. I'm going to go for the Pursuit, as the Chandelure is actually switching out, but the sub takes the hit for him, which is really cool. I know for a fact I can take a hit, but I don't want to do it now. So I go into my Tangrowth, and this thing sets up sub 2. He loves substitutes, for God's sakes. Goes for a Dragon Claw, I'm like, fuck. I'm going to HP Ice and break this sub. Okay, sounds good. Now, he's going to sub again. I decide to go for the HP Ice again because I don't want Garchomp behind the sub. I absolutely refuse. If he wants to try to kill me, that's fine, but I don't want him behind the sub. He's going to switch in the Mega Sableye here, probably to try and get a free recover off. He's going to be able to get it because I'm going to switch into Von Strangle here, and it's going to get the recover up. Now, I'm going to double back out, predicting the Chandelure, and I'm going to go into my Shuriken, and sadly, the Chandelure is not what I see. It is the Luxray. So that's annoying. I'm going to have to double back into my Tangrowth and catch that Volt Switch on the nose, which Tangrowth actually doesn't have a nose. So Tangrowth is in here once again against the Togekiss. It's going to actually double out into the Luxray once again. So as I switch into my Shuriken, this is just a series of switches that lead to the worst possible scenario. He's actually going to go for a Discharge here, which is really interesting. And he's now going to hard switch into the Chandelure, as I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb. I get the poison on the Chandelure, so that really deters the wanting to do a substitute. So that's really cool. I'm able to switch freely into Tyranitar. This thing can't do anything to me. Flamethrower does like 0 damage. Like my leftovers are basically healing the Flamethrower off of me. So that's cool. He's just going to Flamethrower again, as I'm actually going to set up my rocks for free against this Chandelure. And now is the time where the Flamethrower is going to crit me, which is annoying, and get the burn, which is also annoying. I'm just going to go for the Earth Power and kill off the Chandelure. So right now, goal A right there was kill the Chandelure, which just happened. So the goal right there is to make sure the Chandelure was gone, so that Clefairy can come in at some point and set up and sweep. So that goal is achieved. Now we have to find a situation where we can get Clefairy in for free. Now again, I don't want the sub up. I thought I could live a hit. No, I couldn't live a hit. I stayed in to try and live a hit, but it wasn't going to happen. But I let myself die, and I was able to go into Scruff McRuff and use the last turn of Sand to play rough the Garchomp and get it out of there. Now in comes the Pangoro. This is a turn that I didn't expect. I actually outspeed the Pangoro. I thought he would be Scarf, but I outspeed it, and the play rough goes the Pangoro. He kind of handed me the Pangoro there. So he gets the Intimidate on Scruff McRuff here. He goes with the Superpower. I live! He goes down to -1 defense. And I go for the return, and it absolutely demolishes this Luxray. So the Luxray is going to be able to take me out with the Superpower, but now it is down really low. So I find this to be a beautiful situation for me to go into Clefairy. He goes to the Superpower for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I get my first Calm Mind up with Clefairy, and here it is. It is time. He is going to switch into his Togekiss, as I'm going to set up a second Calm Mind right here, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to Roost. I kind of want to see how much damage I do. Moonblast does a decent chunk of damage. About 38%, but I want more. I do lower the special attack, which is really nice, so that I can eat those hits too with my higher special defense. I go for another Calm Mind as he Roosts, which I figured he was going to do. He's going to start Air Slashing. That does nothing. There's going to be a lot of flinches here. Prepare yourself. This is a little bit of a longer part of the battle. He's going to Air Slash. I'm going to flinch. He's going to Air Slash. I'm going to flinch again. He's going to try to Air Slash flinch me out. Now, he has to Roost there so that he doesn't get down too low with poison. Moonblast is now doing 41%. So we're getting there. We're making progress. Calm Mind again. Here we go as he Roosts. So we are just continuing to set up. Air Slash again. Does the flinchy thingy. He's going to Roost once again. And I'm going to Soft Boil and get myself back up to full. So that's awesome. He's going to Air Slash, try to do the flinchy thingies. He's going to do it. This is just a bunch of turns where Togekiss just tries to flinch me. And it's annoying. He just constantly wants to flinch me. He just wants me flinched. He wants me flinching. He wants me flinching every turn because he's scared. Because now I am at +5 Clefairy. That's terrifying for him. I get to +6 now, and now all I have to do is click Moonblast. Now I do the damage I need to do. I am flinching again with the Air Slash. I'm going to flinch probably again right here. I don't remember. Nope, I get my Soft Boil up, get myself back up to full, which was the goal. And now my goal is to click Moonblast. I click Moonblast, and I am actually able to finish off the Togekiss now. Cleaning that thing up. At this point, it's GG. Moonblast is going to take out the Mega Sableye. Really easy cakes. And at this point, the Luxray is going to come back in, die to rocks, and we are going to pick up the win with a late game Clefairy sweep. Ladies and gentlemen, it actually happened. I'm really happy. We move up to 3-2 at this point in the season. We face Marcelo next week, which is going to be really, really cool, yo. But, yeah, so, hope you guys enjoyed. You should leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, I am PokePrimer, signing off.